Shxrk is what people call the Peterbot of EU, and he's using the fastest monitor on the market. So let's take a look at his Fortnite setup, Fortnite settings, and even Nvidia settings in Season 2. First of all, let's begin with Shxrk's gaming setup and peripheral. Let's begin with his new insane monitor. He's using the new Alienware 360Hz QD OLED gaming monitor with only 0.03 milliseconds response time due to instantaneous pixel response technology, eliminating any sort of motion blur. This is truly an impressive monitor, and it makes absolute sense that he's using it for competitive gaming. We definitely see a shift now in Fortnite pros using more and more OLED panels since they offer this insanely low response time. By the way, comment down below which monitor you guys are using. For his main keyboard, Shxrk is using the SteelSeries Apex Pro Mini with his actuation point set to 0.01mm, making it super fast and perfect for competitive Fortnite. Many pros, like the current FNCS winner Flixi, are using it as well, so therefore it's really popular. For his mouse, Shxrk is using the new Logitech G Pro X Superlight 2 with an improved polling rate of up to 8000 Hz, making it super responsive, but due to the fact that 8K Hz causes stutter in Fortnite, it's more likely that Shxrk is using it at 2 to 4000 Hz. It also has a weight of only 60 grams and currently sits on the third spot for the most used esports mice by Fortnite pros in 2025, and also comes with Logitech's new improved light force switches, making it really good for gaming. Next, let's take a look at his mousepad, and here he's using an Argon pad, which is really popular among top Fortnite pros, especially the FNCS winners Vico and Flixi. Both are using Argon pads, which have a wide variety available on their website. From his latest tweet, we can see that he's using a custom mousepad, which you can directly customize at the official Argon pad website and allows you to use any wallpaper you want on your specific pad, which is pretty cool. I also could identify that he's using the control version, since I have a speed and control one, and actually most pros use the control version. And I'm also going to leave a link to Argon pads in the description with a 10% off code, so feel free to check it out. I mean, FNCS winners are using it, and also from my experience, they are really good. And finally, for his headphones, he's using the Logitech G733 headset, which is one of the best-selling lightweight headsets since years. They come in different designs and look really cool. Also, the audio supports full 7.1 surround sound, and they weigh only 620 grams, which is really good for a wireless headset. Are you currently struggling with super high ping in all of your favorite games? This is exactly where NoPing is coming in clutch. NoPing is going to help you to pick the best DNS servers in your near to make sure that you have the least amount of ping. All you have to do is select your favorite game, and it's going to show you all these servers which are available in your near. Now all you have to do is pick the one with the least amount of MS, and you're going to get the most secure and best connection to these game servers. On top of that, the brand new improved version of the NoPing client has some of the best FPS tweaks, which are all approved and well tested, built directly into the client. And with my link in the video description, you can try it out for absolutely free. So therefore, make sure that you check it out right now and elevate your gaming experience. Now let's continue with his Fortnite in-game settings, arguably the most important part. Shxrk is playing on native 1920x1080 res on full screen with VSync disabled and his FPS capped at 240 FPS, which is again the same situation like with many other pros who have a 360Hz panel. They still prefer using 240 FPS for the consistency in endgames. Especially stacked FNCS lobbies is where Fortnite still struggles to maintain 360 FPS. For his rendering mode, he's using the performance mode for maximum visibility, getting rid of small details and grass, making it a lot easier to spot enemies. Then for his brightness, he's using 150% with his user interface contrast on 1x, colorblind mode set to Tritanope with a colorblind strength of 10. Also using the user interface parallax setting, which is personal preference, but Tritanope set to 10 is definitely a very popular setting among Fortnite pros. And what's kind of interesting is that his 3D resolution is set to 99%. This might be a mistake or simply due to the fact to make his game feel a little bit smoother without any visual quality loss, since anything in the 90s range on your 3D res is still going to look really good. Then for the rest of his graphics quality settings, his viewing distance is set to near, which actually gives you a competitive disadvantage since you can only see items up to 150 meters. Besides that, his textures are on low, meshes on low as well, so he's basically just going for the most amount of FPS he can possibly get on his PC. Now for his audio settings, Shxrk is using the low sound quality preset, which is the best at the moment, since high quality can still cause stutter. He's also using visualized sound effects, which gives him more information, especially in confusing situations like FNCS or Solo Cash Cup endgames. This is definitely a great feature, but it's also pretty hardware demanding, so therefore try it out for yourself. And once we're done now with all the core game settings, let's take a look at his keybinds. Of course, the most important ones are his build binds, where he's using mouse 4 for his walls, C for his floor, E for stairs, and mouse 5 for his roof. Next up, he's also using X for traps and H for repair. Besides that, he has sprint on shift, crouch on control, and auto run on tap. Surprisingly for his editing bind, he's using G, the same as Peterboard, which is not optimal at all, and also scroll wheel up for reset. Then he also uses auto confirm edit on release, and his use bind is on F, as well as scroll wheel down. His pickaxe is on 1, and the rest of his weapon binds are up until 6, which are the default settings. For his double movement, he's using a forward diagonal angle of 75, strafe angle of 90, and backwards diagonal angle of 135, giving him optimal control while not messing up his movement. Then next up, let's take a look at his mouse sense. He's playing on 1200 DPI with his X and Y sense on 8%, his targeting sense on 50.1%, and scope sense on 49.1, which is really unique since there aren't many pros playing on 1200 DPI. Most are playing on either 800 or 1600. Surprisingly, unlike most pros, Shxrk is actually not using any sort of color enhancement in his Nvidia control panel. You know, you could put your saturation to something like 75 and as well the color vibrance, but Shxrk is basically playing on native settings and only changes stuff for his colorblind mode. This is at least what I could confirm from his official Twitch comments. And finally, let's take a look at his PC, which is an absolute beast, guys. He's using the new Ryzen 7 9800X 3D, which is currently one of the fastest CPUs out there on the market, especially with the 3D cache. He should not be struggling with FPS whatsoever. Paired with a new Nvidia RTX 4070 Super, which also has a great GPU for competitive, and 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM with 7200 MHz, giving him exactly all the power which he needs to run his Fortnite at maximum speed and get super high FPS and low latency. Real quick, before I'm going to show you some very basic tweaks which Shxrk also uses, since he mentioned that he doesn't use advanced tweaks on his PC, just want to say that I just made a whole entire 30-minute guide showing you basically everything, like the best Nvidia control panel settings, network adapter settings, and everything which you need to do on your Windows PC for better performance in gaming. It's gonna be linked right now in the info icon and as well in the end screen. But now let's cover some basics. So what I'm about to show you right now are really basic, but just gonna ensure that you get more FPS in Fortnite. In the first place, what you're going to do is search up game until you can find the game mode settings of your Windows PC. It's going to look like this here, and Windows 10 and Windows 11 both have built in the game mode, which is actually really good. It basically focuses all of your CPU and GPU power on the main process which is running, which for you might be Fortnite, Valorant, whatever you guys are trying to play. So therefore, always make sure that the game mode is actually turned on. This is an amazing feature, guys, which you want to utilize. What's also very important is that we search up edit power plan, guys. And many people right here under power options are actually not using the best power plan which is available for their PC. As you can see, I'm right now using a custom one, but for most people, this one here is gonna be on balance, which is actually really bad, guys. You don't want to utilize this. What you want to do instead is utilize high performance if you're on a low to mid-end system, and if you're on a somewhat capable gaming machine with, let's say, one of the latest Ryzen 5s, Ryzen 7s, Intel Core i5s and 7s, then you should definitely utilize the ultimate performance mode, because once we go under change plan and change advanced power setting, you can actually see that especially our processor is set to the highest, which is gonna ensure that we have ultimate performance while gaming. And since most people use, as mentioned, balance, I'm just gonna show you real quick how bad this actually is, because on balance your minimum processor state is set to 5%. So therefore you're gonna run into some issues there, you're gonna get way less FPS. All you have to do is go into a Windows search bar, type in there CMD, right click onto it, run it as administrator, then you're gonna go into the video description underneath, guys, and paste in the following command which I put in there, which is powercfg, duplicatescheme, and then the following code. Press enter, and it's going to enable the ultimate performance mode on your PC, guys. And now once we go in here and we basically refresh this with going back one and going forward, you can then see that you have the ultimate performance mode now here enabled in your power settings itself, guys, which is important. Now all you have to do is basically just check it here, and then you can see the ultimate performance mode is checked, which is going to give you way better FPS.